Welcome back to my channel. You're watching Advait, the fourth Umpire. Week 1 of Dream 11 IPL is done with, and oh boy, was it an amazing week of cricket for all the fans to watch. It did not feel like it's been 6 months since the players played because every player played phenomenally. There are so many highlights and so many things to talk about. First, let's go over how many matches each team played. The Chennai Super Kings played 3 matches, and there were 4 teams that played 2 matches, which were the Mumbai Indians, Royal Challengers Bangalore, Delhi Capitals, and Kings 11 Punjab. The Sunrisers Hyderabad, Kolkata Knight Riders, and Rajasthan Royals played only 1 match. So let's go over the highlights, which consist of 2 double century scores, 1 super over, and 1 all out, and many more highlights. So first, let's talk about the season opener, Mumbai Indians versus the Chennai Super Kings, the El Clasico of Dream 11 IPL. So this match was a very good match to watch. In the start of Mumbai Indians power play, both Quinton de Kock and Rohit Sharma played very consistent. Their power play was very strong, which helped Mumbai Indians give them the leading edge. Unfortunately, they could not take their partnership to higher stands. The middle order did not play phenomenal, but they were playing very consistent. Towards the late stage, the middle order wasn't able to bat that very well in the death overs due to the bowling of Lungini Giri and Deepak Chahar. Lungini Giri's breakthrough helped CSK reduce the score of Mumbai Indians. It would have gone to 180 or 190, but the score was 162 for the loss of 9 wickets in 20 overs. Chennai Super Kings, as we all know, had a big blow in the power play, losing 2 wickets in the first 2 overs of Shane Watson and Murali Vijay. 2 men, Faf du Plessis from South Africa, Ambati Rayudu from our very own India. They both had a great partnership, a very strong partnership. This took them to carrying their team. And oh boy, both of them won the match. They played the match with ease. They felt no pressure at all. We all thought both the batsmen feel pressurized and will not play that consistent. They played better than consistent. And later on, Faf du Plessis finished the match in style. Unfortunately, we could not see MS Dhoni play that match, but we all know in the next matches he's played. So the man of the match was Ambati Rayudu, no doubt. He had a very high strike rate. He carried the team to victory with Faf du Plessis. For special performances, we got to talk about Sam Curran's debut for CSK. His batting performance and bowling performance were very crucial for the team, and Lungini Giri's breakthrough was also helpful. Now, let's talk about 2 teams in the second match, Delhi Capitals vs Kings 11 Punjab. They both have young captains, aspiring captains, who want to make a career for the Indian national team. Shreyas Iyer for Delhi Capitals and KL Rahul for Kings 11 Punjab. Both these players are phenomenal players, and there's a lot to talk about in the match which went on. And as we all know, this match led to a super over. Let's see how that happened. So initially, for both these teams, they had a very bad power play as they both lost wickets early on. Some breakthrough was there for each team to make sure that the flow of the runs go easier. For Delhi Capitals, there's this man called Marcus Stoinis. He came out of nowhere and got the score to 157 for the loss of only 8 wickets, which is very crucial for the team's chances to at least win the match or at least tie the match. If it wasn't for him, the super over wouldn't even be there. For Kings 11 Punjab, there was a guy called Mayank Agarwal. He was there ever since the opening with KL Rahul. Seeing all the opposite batsmen losing their wicket, he felt very tired and he wanted to blow off. Due to him and thanks to him, Kings 11 Punjab were able to take the match to the super over. Towards the end of the innings, they played a bit sloppy because there was only 1 run to win in 4 balls. In the super over, Kkr Innings bowled for the Delhi Capitals. And my god, he bowled brilliantly. He only let the Kings 11 Punjab score 2 runs, so it was an easy chase for the Delhi Capitals and an easy win. So the man of the match by the end of the day was Marcus Stoinis. And there was a good bowling performance from Kings 11 Punjab in the power play and from the Delhi Capitals. So let's go over the third match of Dream 11 IPL. RCB versus SRH. RCB led by Virat Kohli, the Indian captain, and Sunrisers led by David Warner, the Australian opener. Both have extraordinary captains and extraordinary players. So RCB had a great start in the power play. The introduction of Devdutt Padukone, the debutant, or an amazing performance by the young lad, scoring a half century in his first match, and his opening partner, Aaron Finch, the Australian captain. So there's a lot of experience with him, and it helped Devdutt Padukone score runs in the power play against Sunrisers Hyderabad. Later on, Sunrisers got breakthrough by getting the wicket of both Aaron Finch and Devdutt Padukone, the important one. Sunrisers Hyderabad's bowling helped the score not concede more than 163 runs. But towards the end, AV De Villiers helped in getting that score and reaching that score to 163. And there was only a loss of 5 wickets. So this was the final score, 163 for the loss of 5 wickets in 20 overs. Let's go over to Sunrisers Hyderabad innings. Unfortunately, he lost the wicket of David Warner, their skipper, due to the unlucky run out. Johnny Bairstow was there on the second hand, and he was almost about to carry the team to the win. He and Manish Pandey's partnership was very crucial, and it was a very long-lasting one. Yuzvendra Chahal came into the mix, and Manish Pandey lost his wicket. Later on, Bairstow was still scoring runs, and RCB really needed a breakthrough. They wanted the wicket of Bairstow. Again, they called in Chahal, and oh boy, Chahal cut the wicket of Bairstow. That was the biggest breakthrough for RCB. And there was one more wicket in that over of Vijay Shankar, who was duck out. Ever since then, the Sunrisers collapsed. They also have an injury of Mitchell Marsh, which also did not support them. Due to the collapse of Sunrisers Hyderabad, they got all out for the score of 153 by 19.4 overs. This was a huge win for RCB, and Virat Kohli was the happiest man in that hour. By the end of the match, the man of the match went to Yuzvendra Chahal, and I felt he deserves it. And you all know that he deserves it because of his huge breakthrough. If it wasn't for him, Sunrisers might have won. And we should give credits to Devdutt Padikkal and AB de Villiers for their amazing batting, and best was batting for Sunrisers. So let's go to the fourth match of the Dream 11 IPL. It was Rajasthan Royals' first match and CSK's second match. So Rajasthan Royals had a huge start in the power play. Even though they lost the early wicket of Jaiswal, Sanju Samson and both Steve Smith had a great partnership. Both of them striking very high, especially Sanju Samson. What a show he put on for the audience. He hit sixes on every corner on the match. He was a real Mr. 360 during the match. I felt sad for the spinners, Ravindra Jadeja and Chawla. Both of them were being hit for a lot of runs. And Sanju Samson loved playing against those bowlers. Unfortunately, due to his clumsiness, he lost his wicket, but his contribution was so much. We all thought Rajasthan Royals would go for a 240 score plus. Later on, Steve Smith was still there, and he was trying to support throughout the innings as a true captain. Players were still coming and going, they were supporting, trying to score a bit runs, but unfortunately did not make a huge effect. During the death over, Steve Smith tried going for those big shots, but unfortunately he lost his wicket. Jofra Archer came in, and who would have thought in the last over he would hit 4 sixes in a row, and that helped so much. Rajasthan reached a score of 216 for the loss of 7 wickets in 20 overs. So let's go over the Chennai innings. As we all know, in the first match the power play was not that strong. This time the power play came a bit more stronger, and both Shane Watson and Murali Vijay tried doing their best. The innings went pretty slow for the Chennai Super Kings, and it ended up with Faf du Plessis and MS Dhoni being there playing in the innings. There was a lot of score needed to win the match, and there was a high score. Faf du Plessis, oh boy, he played extremely well, hitting so many sixes, and a lot of contribution by him. Faf du Plessis tried very hard to win the match for the team, but unfortunately lost his wicket during the death overs. MS Dhoni, on the other hand, we've all seen him hitting 3 sixes in the last over. We've all loved that, and we've missed that from MS Dhoni. Unfortunately, CSK lost the match, and Rajasthan Royals won by 16 runs. So that was an amazing performance. So CSK's score was 200, Rajasthan's was 216. And the man of the match, for no doubt, was Sanju Samson, being an amazing keeper and being one of the best batsmen in the match and striking very high. You know, this is tied for the world record of the most sixes in a match. Let's go over the fifth match of the Dream 11 IPL 2020. The Mumbai Indians versus the Kolkata Knight Riders. This was Kolkata's Knight Riders' first match and MI's second match. So let's see how the Dream 11 IPL treated the KKR in their first match. So Rohit Sharma and Quinton de Kock opened the power play for the Mumbai Indians, and there was a loss of Quinton de Kock's wicket early on, and that did not affect the batting for Mumbai Indians, as Rohit Sharma and Surya Kumar Yadav both had an amazing partnership. Unfortunately, due to miscommunication, Yadav lost his wicket due to a run out, and he scored 47 runs, close to a 50, but he struck the ball very well, and Rohit Sharma was still there, and my god, he was still playing amazing. No matter whoever his partner was, he was still playing his usual self. In the end, he scored 80 runs in 54 balls and hitting 6 maximums, which is brilliant. For Mumbai Indians, there were batsmen coming and going, and each of them contributed enough. The batsmen were able to get the team to a score of 195 for the loss of only 5 wickets in 20 overs, which is pretty good. Not exactly a 200, but it's good enough. As we all know, Pat Cummins was very expensive during the IPL auction and very expensive during this match because his economy was 16 plus, and that was not the expected performance from Pat Cummins. That's why he did not get the 4th over. Now let's go to Kkr Innings. Things did not start well for them as they lost 2 early wickets, and not a single batsman was able to convert their scores into a half century or at least a 30 plus, because all batsmen were there and going on. We expected a high runs chase from Dinesh Karthik, Owen Morgan, Russell, but nobody was able to convert their scores. Due to the unfortunate events, the KKR could not reach their target as the target was too high and there was a lot of pressure on the batsmen. At least towards the end, Pat Cummins put a show for the audience by hitting at least a few maximums. It did not come close for the team to winning, but it was a good performance. All the bowlers in Mumbai Indians bowled brilliantly. Just for the best economy, James Pattinson bowled well. Even though he's a replacement for Lashat Malinga, he is doing amazing for his job. So congrats to James Pattinson. So Kolkata Knight Riders score was 146 for the loss of 9 wickets at 20 overs. And man of the match was the Mumbai captain, Rohitman. Let's go over the 6th match of the Dream 11 IPL 2020. Kings 11 Punjab versus the Royal Challengers Bangalore. Both these teams playing the second match. So let's go to KXIP's innings in the first place. So the power play was very strong, but not too strong. So later on in the middle overs, both the batsmen who are playing could not convert the score to a higher early on. Kings 11 Punjab had many wickets, so which was a good thing because in the death overs, they could start going for risks. KL Rahul, on the other hand, my god, staying there for most of the innings. In the last 4 overs, scoring 70 plus runs. What a performance by the young lad. And being the captain and skipper of the KXIP, leading from front, what an amazing innings seen by him. I bet all the fans enjoyed watching his performance. And he led the team to a score of 206 with the loss of only 3 wickets. Just 3 wickets in 20 overs. And that was an amazing performance by KL Rahul. And not much to talk about the bowlers. So I can always say that Chahal, Yuzi was under pressure. That's why he was able to bowl well. All the other pace bowlers were under a huge pressure. So now let's go to RCB's innings. There's not much to talk about as we all know how they performed. RCB are under a lot of pressure unfortunately because it was a high chase to score. 207 runs required in 20 overs. There's a lot of pressure on the batsmen. So due to that, they were trying to go for risk shots, but the risks did not go in their way, and they lost their wicket. That happened to every batsman, and due to that, nobody was able to convert their scores to higher scores. And because of the non-conversion, the RCB got their score to only 109 in 17 overs, an all-out. So our RCB could not perform that well. I want to give credits to Ravi Bishnoi and Murugan Ashwin, the spinners of KXIP, both getting 3 wickets. And I want to talk more about Bishnoi because Bishnoi, being an under-19 player, did amazing for his IPL team, Kings 11 Punjab. And the man of the match, we all know, KL Rahul, having a record in the IPL, being the Indian with the most runs, 132 runs ever in IPL history. The 7th match of the Dream 11 IPL 2020, the last match of this week, Delhi Capitals versus the Chennai Super Kings. CSK on the 3rd match and DC on the 2nd match. So let's see how those both teams played. CSK winning the toss the 3rd time in the row and electing to bowl first. DC had a very slow power play, but towards the end of the power play and the middle overs, both Prithvi Shaw and Shikhar Dhawan were playing even better. Unfortunately, Shikhar Dhawan lost his wicket, but Prithvi Shaw, the youngster, my god, had a brilliant innings of 64 runs in 43 balls. And we all enjoyed watching his innings, especially you fans too. Shreyas Iyer and Rishabh Pant came in after Prithvi Shaw lost his wicket. Both these batsmen were having a good partnership and both had a decent run score. Shreyas Iyer losing his wicket, Rishabh Pant was still there leading the batting lineup, and Marcus Stoinis came in on. He contributed a bit. And the score, the end result, was 175 runs for the loss of only 3 wickets in 20 overs. So that was a good performance by the Delhi Capital boys. CSK had a very slow start, as we all noticed, because as you've seen, they had many wickets. They lost the wickets later on to the stage, but everybody was playing slow, not that consistently well. And there was no reason to play slow because CSK could have chased the score. It was 175, it was easy for them because they were about to chase a 216 score in the previous match. We have to give congrats to the bowlers of Delhi Capitals because they put pressure on the CSK batsmen. That's why CSK was only able to lead up to a score of 131 in the loss of 7 wickets in 20 overs. They weren't able to chase the score and unfortunately they lost. And none of the batsmen were able to strike very high. They had small partnerships, but it did not help them and lead to an effective victory. But Delhi Capitals must have been very proud of this win because they got a win against Tala's team, Dhoni's team, and it's the 2nd win in the row. And the man of the match was Prithvi Shaw, expected because of his brilliant innings and his knock for 64 runs. What a youngster to watch. So week 1 of the Dream 11 IPL 2020 is done with. And what an amazing week we had with so many highlights which are already covered in the video. And my god, all the fans enjoyed this week. And the feeling of IPL is back, guys. Week 2, we'll be seeing more highlights and more drama, more action in the IPL. So let's go over the points table for now. Delhi Capitals are first, winning 2 matches and playing 2 matches with 4 points. Kings 11 Punjab being 2nd, winning 1 match, losing 1 match, having 2 points. Same with Mumbai Indians, playing 2 matches, losing 1 and winning 1 with 2 points. Rajasthan Royals playing 1 match and winning that 1 match and getting 2 points in the table. CSK playing 3 matches, winning 1 match, losing 2 matches, getting 2 points in the table. RCB winning 1 match, losing 1 match, also getting 2 points in the table. Sunrisers played one match, lost that match unfortunately. Same with the Kolkata Knight Riders, played one match, lost one match unfortunately. So that's the table of Week 1 Dream 11 IPL 2020. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, share this video with all your friends. Like this video and please follow me on Instagram. The link will be in the description down below. So this is me, Advait, the 4th Umpire, signing off.